After an absolutely electrifying introduction, I would like to welcome everyone back to the Cestar Group Athletic and Fitness Complex, also known as the Lions Den. We're back. Another year, another season, and the Lambton Lions home and season opener tonight against the Redeemer Royals. My name is Kevin Ferrer, and I'll be calling the action tonight between the Lions and the Redeemer Royals as we are set here for tip-off to begin this one. And with that, we start the 2025-2026 OCAA women's basketball season, and Redeemer Royals have the ball, and a quick steal here by Maddie Bishop, who is back on the team for her fifth and final year. And with that, Jordan Britton, number 24, who is returning after taking a season off last season. Jordan Britton back on the floor here for the Lambton Lions, who has the ball now. Passes it over to number 15 for a deep two. No good by Kiana Cambridge, who's in her first year here at Lambton on the Lions team. Now Redeemer with it. Trying to drive inside, no good. Loses control of it, passes it to number 21. No good. Talia Brugdenhill can't hold on to the ball. And no good on the shot attempt by Kiana Cambridge of the Lions. Redeemer has the ball once again. Quick play back and forth here. And a foul called here on Maddie Bishop. Royals set to inbound here. Number of new players starting this season for the Lambton Lions, one of them being Kiana Cambridge, number 15, who is on the floor currently for the Lions. Royals have the ball here. Number 15, Sydney Lazenby for a deep three. No good on the shot attempt by Vrugdenhill of the Royals. Simone Wilson over to Maddie Bishop. Kiana Cambridge kicks back out to Simone Wilson, returning for her second season, and no good on the attempt by Simone Wilson, picked up here by the Royals. Zoe DeYoung bringing it down the floor, tipped out of bounds here by the Lions. Royals will remain with it. So you get set here. Ava Van Houwelingen set to inbound here for the Royals. Brugdenhill with a Jordan Britton right in front of her, though, for the Lions here. 10 seconds left to work with on the shot clock. Drives in, kicks back out. Kiana Cambridge picks up the loose ball. Bring it down the other way, and Simone Wilson high off the glass. No good on the shot attempt, and Jordan Britton in her return is all over this one. Kicks back out to Cassandra Newcomb for three, and the first points on the board here for the Lions after the made three by second year number 5, Cassandra Newcomb for the Lions. And a three-point attempt by the Royals, trying to answer back by Van Houwelingen. No good on the attempt. Maddie Bishop, pull-up three, no good on the attempt. Rebounded here by Vrugdenhill for the Royals. Lazenby drives in, puts it in for the first points on the board now for the Redeemer Royals. Kiana Cambridge inbounding here to Simone Wilson. Finds Jordan Britton. Britton back to Simone Wilson. Newcomb drives in high off the glass, and Jordan Britton with the rebound and in for the Lions. Sydney Lazenby over to DeYoung here, back and forth over. And no good on the attempt. Rebounded here by Vrugdenhill and puts it in for the Royals. Maddie Bishop to Kiana Cambridge. Over to Simone Wilson. Wilson finds a lane, drives in, high off the glass. No good on the attempt. Picks up her own rebound. Loose ball picked up here by the Royals by Sydney Lazenby, who is double teamed right now by the Lions, and they're going to call a foul. That'll be the second team foul here on the Lions, as we get a couple substitutions coming in now for the Lions. Number 4, Lillian Bernard, and number 8, Melina Lopez, 2 newcomers here on the Lions team. Sydney Lazenby deep inbound over to number 3, tried to bank it in from 3, no good by DeYoung. Rebounded now by the Royals, second chance opportunity. Nice work by Jordan Britton, tipping it out of bounds. Only 9 seconds left to work with here on the shot clock as the Lions kick off the OCAA regular season here tonight. As the Royals inbound here, finds Van Houwelingen in the corner. DeYoung, shot clock winding down here. Had to put up a shot, no good on the attempt by Sydney Lazenby. And that'll be a shot clock violation here for the Redeemer Royals. Lambton gonna pick this one back up as they start here tonight. Last season they went 9-7, 5-3 at home and 4-4 on the road. Average 59.4 points per game, 9th in the OCAA last season. Nice find to Jordan Britton. Britton rebounds it herself over. No good on the attempt by Lopez for 3. But rebounded here by Kiana Cambridge. Great job staying on the play. Royals now looking for an answer, down by 3 early on here in the first quarter. Nearly halfway through the first quarter. Abigail Hoagland on the floor now for the Redeemer Royals. Shot clock winding down, had to put up a shot. No good on the shot attempt, and that'll be another shot clock violation here for the Royals. Back-to-back shot clock violations here for Redeemer. Kiana Cambridge back to Maddie Bishop. Jordan Britton back over to Maddie, wide open for 3 and no good on the attempt. Rebounded here by Lillian Bernard. Bernard drives in, kicks back out, and they're gonna call a travel on Lillian. Redeemer Royals, you see Janine Day, head coach of the Lambton Lions, shouting instructions here to her team, trying to keep the pressure on the Redeemer Royals. And just out of bounds. I saw it from up here. It was ever so slight, but just a toe out of bounds on Ava Van Houwelingen. And a couple of substitutions here. Simone Wilson back in. Number 10 and number 20, Alexis Hines, another newcomer here to this Lions team. Hines with it now. Back over to Lopez. Lopez drives in and puts it in here for the Lions. A lot of newcomers on the floor here. Nearly tipped off by Lillian Bernard as the Royals trying to regroup here. And a wide open pass right into the hands of Lopez. Simone Wilson drives it down the floor and no good off the glass. Tipped and nearly stolen. Maybe it will be a fight for the ball here. Diving all over it is Alexis Hines. Lambton all over the ball on that one. They retain possession here. Maddie Bishop over to Melina Lopez. Lopez kicks back out to Hines. Hines drives in, puts up a shot off the glass, rebounded here. Only have a few seconds left and no good on the shot attempt. Great job getting a shot off to begin with. That was tough with the shot clock winding down by Lillian Bernard. Royals regroup here. Zoe DeYoung with it and passed over, stolen away here by number 4 and blocked by number 15, Sydney Lazenby, off the shot attempt by Lillian Bernard, and a couple substitutions now on the floor here for the Royals. Number 7, Sophia Van Raalte back in the game. Maddie Bishop with it. Bishop, sidestep over, no good on the attempt. Rebounded by Hines. And now rebounded here by Simone Wilson. They are all over the rebounds here. Lopez for 3, no good on the attempt. Simone Wilson with another opportunity for the Lions and banks it in. Lions would not give up on that possession, putting points on the board, up 11-4 here with just over 3 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. Number 15 loses control of it. Sydney Lazenby, long pass by Maddie Bishop to Simone Wilson, just out of reach. And a few substitutions heading back on the floor here. Number 24, Jordan Britton. Number 15, Kiana Cambridge. And Lauren Smith checking in as well. Number 21. Quite a lineup change here for Janine Day and the Lambton Lions, keeping things fresh. Maddie Bishop nearly tipped it away. Nice recovery by the Royals here. And they're going to call a foul here on number 21, Lauren Smith. She's in her second year here with the Lambton Lions. Number 21 set to shoot 2 here, Talia Vrugdenhill for the Royals. And no good on the first shot attempt. And no good on that shot attempt, picked up here by number 5, Cassandra Newcomb of the Lions. The Royals averaged 58.6% from the free throw line, ranked 9th overall in the OCAA last season. Missed on the first 2 shot attempts there on that last possession. Jordan Britton now with it for the Lions. Time winding down. Lauren Smith thought about it from 3. Trying to get around the defender and no good, but they're going to call a foul here with 1 second left on the shot clock. Lauren Smith set to shoot 2 here from the free throw line. And no good on the first attempt. Lauren Smith, a second year. Played in the Niagara Jewel program, where she played with Madison Fink, a fellow Lion, on the bench here tonight, as she puts that one down as well for the Lions. Sophia Van Raalte over to Hoagland here for the Royals. Royals looking for an answer, have been scoreless in the last few minutes here in the first quarter. 2:15 left to play here in the first. They're going to call another foul here on Lauren Smith here. That'll be her second foul on 2 straight possessions, and she's going to take a seat. Simone Wilson going to check back in here for Lauren Smith after getting 2 fouls. As the Royals back at the free throw line. And no good on that shot attempt by Abigail Hoagland here of the Royals. And no good on that attempt either. Rebounded though by Vrugdenhill. Kicked back out, but is double teamed here. Forced out of bounds. Great job defensively here by the Lions. Maddie Bishop over to Simone Wilson. Wilson kicks back out to Maddie. Over to Cambridge for 3. No good on the attempt. Cassandra Newcomb with the rebound. Over to Jordan Britton for a long 2. Kiana Cambridge with the rebound. Puts it in and gets the foul. Gets the and 1 play here, does Cassandra Newcomb. What a start here for the Lambton Lions here in their home opener to start off the OCAA season. Can't put in the and 1. Royals pick it up. Daniela Zondag with it for the Royals. Lazenby trying to find somebody, trying to get around Maddie Bishop. Jordan Britton, though, in the post is a presence, and no good on the 3-point attempt by Lazenby here. Trying to get a second chance here does Hoagland, and they're going to call a foul here. Jordan Britton with her first foul of the evening. And Melina Lopez checking in now for the Lions. Maddie Bishop will take a much-needed seat here, has played nearly the entire first quarter. Number 12 puts it in, Abigail Hoagland. First point scored here for the Royals in quite some time in the first. Puts them both in for the Royals. Cuts the lead down, but not by much here in the first. Kiana Cambridge with it for the Lions. Back to Simone Wilson. Wilson easily gets around the defender, puts it off the glass, but no good on the shot attempt. Van Raalte now for the Royals. And too much on that one. That one goes right out of bounds. Lions will pick it up here. Less than a minute to go here in the first quarter. Melina Lopez over to Kiana Cambridge. Back to Simone Wilson. Wilson with the moves, puts it in. Lions up by 10 here as the first quarter is winding down. Thought about it, did Brugden-Hill from the corner. No good on the shot attempt. Rebounded. Kicked back out for a long three. No good on the attempt by DeYoung. Melina Lopez with it to Simone Wilson. Wilson with a long pass over to Kiana Cambridge. A long two and no good on the attempt. Jordan Britton just picks it up from going out of bounds. Back to Simone Wilson. Time winding down. Shot clock has been turned off. Lopez tried to find Jordan Britton on the inside, but no good. Royals pick up a loose ball here. Trying to put up a last-second shot and no good on the attempt for Sydney Lazenby. And after the first quarter, the Lions up by 10 points, 16-6 against the Royals. And you already saw the depth that the Lions have, even with these newcomers on the team. Quite a few new people here on the Lions. Not only players, but also assistant coaches as well. You could recognize potentially two of them if you can see it. One of them, Claire Deschette and Kayla Wag, both from the 2022-2023 OCAA silver medal team. But the other new assistant coach here with Janine Day and Katie Barnes is Deanna Kirchhoff, who has quite the resume to her name here. Played on the Wallsburg Airhawks club team in high school with the Ursuline Lancers, Northeastern University Huskies in Boston, Massachusetts, and the New England Trailblazers semi-pro team in 2020. Led the Ursuline Lancers to a SWASA title in 2009 and accepted a full scholarship to Northeastern to play for the NCAA Division I women's basketball team, where Kirchhoff had a successful 4 years. She was also the captain of the Northeastern Huskies in her senior year and was named second team CAA All-Conference. Overall, Kirchhoff finished her 4 years at Northeastern 15th in all-time scoring for Northeastern's women's basketball, scoring 1,140 points in her career, and earlier this year was inducted into the Wallsburg Sports Hall of Fame as the female athlete inductee. And as a long list on the resume of the new assistant coach, Deanna Kirchhoff. Welcome to the Lambton Lions coaching staff. We are happy to have you. And we're happy to see Claire Deschette and Kayla Wag back on the sideline as well, as the Lions back on the floor, ready to go. Royals will pick it up here to start the second quarter. Sydney Lazenby over to Abigail Hoagland. Back to Lazenby here. Royals had a good start against the Lions, but the Lions' pressure was just too much to handle for the rest of that first quarter. No good on the three-point attempt here by Van Raalte, picked up here by Maddie Bishop. Kiana Cambridge, what a first quarter she had. Back over to Simone Wilson. Wilson finds Number 17 on the inside, and no good on the attempt by Simone Wilson. Bryn Goebel in the game here for the Lions. #21 with it, Vrugdenhill. Back over to Lazenby. And they're going to call a foul here. I believe it was on number 17. Excuse me, number 10. Simone Wilson with her first foul. Sydney Lazenby to shoot 2 here for the Royals to start off this second quarter. And no good on the shot attempt. But it's good on the second. Rebounded, though, by Talia Vrugdenhill. Kicked back out, stolen away by Simone Wilson. Wilson bringing it down the floor quickly here, off the glass and in with the soft touch off the glass. Nice finish by Simone Wilson. And stolen away here by Bishop, off the glass and in. This is what I'm talking about, that pressure, that defense that the Lions bring to every game. And they're going to call a foul on Kiana Cambridge after Sophia Van Rolte tried to drive in. Call a substitution. Zoe DeYoung back in now for the Royals, as Sophia Van Rolte set to shoot 2 here. And is good on her first attempt at the free throw line here. A first year for the Redeemer Royals. Sophia Van Rolte 2 for 2 from the free throw line on this trip. Maddie Bishop set to inbound now. Bishop and Cassandra Newcomb back over to Simone Wilson. Wilson back to Newcomb. Kiana Cambridge step back. Banks it in. Kiana Cambridge putting on a show here this evening. Couldn't hold on to the ball. Royals pick it up here. Nice pass. Long 2, no good on the attempt. Rebounded here by Vrugdenhill. And they're going to call out of bounds. Last touch by the Lions. Jordan Britton checking back in here for the Lions. Bryn Goebel going to take a seat, and now Melina Lopez checking in as well. Kiana Cambridge will take a seat for the time being for the Lions. Lions already starting to show the depth here on their bench. Oh, and just out of bounds. A long pass. Hits one of their teammates in the face on the sideline. That's something you don't want to see. Daniela Zongdag, though, looks to be okay on the sideline as the Lions set to inbound. Maddie Bishop to Simone Wilson. Cassandra Newcomb over to Maddie Bishop. Bishop in the post, decides to step it back out, and no good on the attempt. Rebounded here by Talia Vrugdenhill. Finds newcomer on the inside and banks it in. Sophia Van Rolte with the finish on that possession. Lions still up by 12 here in the second quarter. Bishop with the moves, gets around the defender. Jordan Britton saves it from going out of bounds. Finds Simone Wilson, who is driving on the inside. Melina Lopez saves it from going out of bounds, and Bishop picks it up here, and they're going to call a carry on Maddie Bishop. Turnover here by the Lions. Royals set to inbound. Then Howell Lignan over to Hoagland. Back to DeYoung. Hoagland trying to grab the rebound. Nice job by number 4, Lillian Bernard, who's on the floor now for the Lions. Bishop with a quick 2. No good on the attempt, picked up by Cassandra Newcomb. Lopez thought about it from 3 and stolen away here by the Royals. Nice tip by Talia Vrugdenhill. Zoe DeYoung with it. Over to Hoagland. To number 10 in the corner. No good on the attempt by Van Houwelignen. Shot clock winding down here. And a 3-point attempt by DeYoung. No good on the attempt. And they're going to say last touched here by the Royals. And we get a timeout called here as the Royals trying to reset here and regroup, as the Lions have built quite the lead here in the second quarter, a 12-point lead. However, it was the Lions that called the timeout. You know, it's a big night when Pounce is on the floor here for the Lions. Last season, the Lambton Lions went 2-0 against the Royals. The last loss that the Lambton Lions had to the Redeemer Royals was back on Friday, December 7th in 2018 on the road, losing 71-47. Since then, the Lions have been undefeated against the Redeemer Royals, trying to keep that tradition going here to start off this season, as the Lions already back on the floor. Lillian Bernard set to inbound for the Lions. And Maddie Bishop now off the inbound pass from Lillian Bernard. Jordan Britton picks up the loose ball, nearly loses it. Went out of bounds. They're saying last touched here by the Royals. Lions will retain possession here as number 15 checks back in, Sydney Lazenby for the Royals. Maddie Bishop over to Cassandra Newcomb. 8 seconds left on the shot clock here. Maddie Bishop kicks back out, tries to drive in, puts one up, no good on the attempt. Rebounded here by Lazenby. And pass is tipped by Bishop, nearly picked up by Newcomb, but just out of bounds. Alexis Hines checking back in now for the Lions. Another first year for the Lambton Lions. And what a showing it's been so far for these newcomers here in the first game of the regular season. Royals set to inbound. Sydney Lazenby nearly halfway through this second quarter. Vrugdenhill with the shot. Maddie Bishop now to Melina Lopez. Back over to Hines, no good on the attempt from 3, and that one sails out of bounds. Royals gonna pick it up here. Ava Van Houwelignen with it now for the Royals. And stolen away here by Maddie Bishop of the Lions. Bishop trying to get around Lazenby. Lopez with the shot, no good. Lillian Bernard with the rebound and banks it in with the finish here for the Lions. Zoe DeYoung over to Van Raalte, nearly loses it, picked up here by Lazenby. Kick back out. Royals trying to drive inside, met by Jordan Britton in the post, but able to get over her was Sydney Lazenby with the finish over Jordan Britton here. Jordan Britton standing at 6 foot in the post. There's a presence here for the Lions. Lopez for 3 and puts it in. Melina Lopez with a huge three-pointer here for the Lions. Puts them up 27-14 against the Redeemer Royals. Zoe DeYoung over to Vrugdenhill. Van Raalte back to DeYoung with a long 2 and no good on the attempt. Rebounded here by the Royals. Second chance opportunity here for Redeemer. Drives in, and they're going to call a foul here on the Lions. Maddie Bishop with her first foul. Sorry, that'll be her second. And a couple substitutions coming in now for the Lions. Kiana Cambridge, number 15, and Simone Wilson, number 10. Sydney Lazenby, number 15, set to shoot 2 here for the Royals, who have been scoreless most of this second quarter, and Lazenby puts in her first free throw from the line and goes 2 for 2. Cuts the lead down to 11 here for the Lions. Simone Wilson quickly bringing it down the floor here. Kiana Cambridge over to Alexis Hines. Simone Wilson gets around the defender. Alexis Hines now with it. Shot clock down to 8 seconds. Hines banks it in. Great job staying with the play for Alexis Hines with the finish for the Lions. Royals looking for an answer, finds Vrugdenhill in the post, and they're going to call a foul on number 15. That'll be her second for Kiana Cambridge. And they're going to call another timeout. Lambton using their final timeout here in the first half. Just about at the halfway mark here in the second quarter. You know, I spoke with Janine Day, head coach of the Lambton Lions, a few weeks ago, and I asked her how she wanted to start off the season here tonight. Obviously, any head coach, they're going to say you want to get a win, but there was a little bit more to it. She said that I think there's going to be a lot of peaks and valleys in the first little bit because of how young this team is, and she just really wants to see the steps that they've made towards improving. They played a lot of preseason games this year heading into the regular season, and she just wants to leave this game saying, yes, we've improved in these areas, now let's focus on these areas. I don't want to be taking any steps backwards, and so far, I would say so good here for the Lions. Showcasing their bench quite a bit already here in the first half as Talia Vrugdenhill puts down her first free throw from the line. Off the foul by Kiana Cambridge before the timeout, and a jump ball called here. This time going the Lions' way. Alexis Hines set to inbound now for the Lions. Simone Wilson, quick transition from one end of the floor to the other. Kicks back out to Bishop. Bishop drives in, brings in all the defenders. Jordan Britton with a hook shot, no good on the attempt. Tried to rebound it. And no good on the attempt. They're going to say last touch, though, by the Royals. Simone Wilson set to inbound, finds Maddie Bishop off the inbound. 8 seconds left on the shot clock here. Bishop, pull up, 2, no good on the attempt. Rebounded here by DeYoung for the Royals. Three minutes left to go here in the first half in this season and home opener here for the Lions in the Lions' Den. 5 seconds on the shot clock here. Shot attempt put up, no good by Lazenby, picked up here by Maddie Bishop, who finds Kiana Cambridge, drives in, no good on the attempt, off the glass, and they're going to say out of bounds, Royals ball. And Cassandra Newcomb checking in now for the Lions. Zoe DeYoung with it now for the Redeemer Royals. Trying to get around Simone Wilson. Easier said than done. Van Howell Lignan. Shot clock winding down once again here. This defense of the Lions. Just so much pressure on the Royals trying to get a shot to go. Maddie Bishop over to Jordan Britton, wide open, puts it in for Jordan Britton's trying to see what's going on here. I'm not sure what was called, and we got a timeout called here by the Royals. Bit of confusion on the floor here for a little bit. Trying to figure out what was going on. Royals using their first timeout here in the first half of this one as they're trying to regroup quite a sizable lead here built up by the Lions. 31-17 against the Redeemer Royals. As you see Pounce on the floor here, high-fiving the U10 Lakers here in Sarnia, who have come to cheer on their Lambton Lions basketball team. And don't forget, later on tonight, we'll have the men's basketball game at approximately 8 p.m. between the Lions and the Royals. Home opener at 8 p.m. tonight. And the Royals stepping back out on the floor along with the Lions ready to go. 2:05 left to play here in the first half. Sydney Lazenby set to inbound. And tipped away by Kiana Cambridge already. And stolen by Maddie Bishop. And banks it in. What a start coming out of the timeout for the Lions. Not what the Royals wanted to see after that one. No good on the shot by Lazenby. Second chance by Hoagland. Can't put it in. Simone Wilson. Quick transition here for the Lions. Simone Wilson trying to get around Hoagland here. Couldn't bank it in. Jordan Britton trying to grab the rebound. Stolen away. Britton with it. Over to Maddie Bishop. Maddie Bishop over to Cassandra. Kiana Cambridge for three. A huge three-pointer for Kiana Cambridge. I believe that's her second of the night. And they're going to say out of bounds, Lions ball. Number 12, Ava Grant checking in, as well as Melina Lopez, number 8, for the Lions. Maddie Bishop. Over to Grant, back to Bishop. Jordan Britton on the inside. Britton with a long pass, trying to get it to Melina Lopez. Tipped out of bounds by Abigail Hoagland. Lions will retain possession here as Lauren Smith checks in here for Jordan Britton. Final minute winding down here in the first half of this one. Maddie Bishop inbounding. Lopez to Cambridge to Bishop for three. Shot clock winding down. And they're going to call a foul here on the Royals. Number 7 with the foul, Sophia Van Raalte. Maddie Bishop with it, shot clock winding down. Bishop floats one up and no good on the attempt. Vrugdenhill with the rebound. Sydney Lazenby. Royals looking for some sort of answer here before the end of the first half. Nearly an over and back, and it is an over and back as Kiana Cambridge forces it over with her defense. Maddie Bishop set to inbound. 14.7 seconds left on the game clock here. Cannon Cambridge with it now for the Lions. Back to Lopez. Lopez finds a wide open lane, but tipped by Sophia Van Rolte here of the Royals. As time winds down, Zongdang and Ava Grant with the block and the stare down to end the first half. Lions looking dominant as ever here in their home opener. We'll be right back with some second half OCAA action. Welcome back to the second half between the Lambton Lions and the Redeemer Royals. This on home opener night, also season opener night, OCAA basketball action coming back to you for the 2025-2026 season. So far, the Lions on a roll against the Royals, up 36-17 heading into the second half. Number 15, Kiana Cambridge of the Lions, scoring 9 points in the first half. Jordan Britton returning to the team after taking a season off to a hot start as well with 8 rebounds and 4 points to her name. Lillian Bernard, also number 4, first year for this Lambton Lions team, with 2 points and 4 rebounds to her name. Thus far, it has been a total team effort here by the Lambton Lions here in the first half against the Royals. Royals looked good early on in the first quarter and has struggled ever since then to stay in this one against the Lions, as the Redeemer Royals head back on the floor and will start us off here in the second half. And Zoe DeYoung with it over to Ava Van Houwelingen. Vreugdenhil with it, who had quite the first half for the Redeemer Royals, as the shot clock is winding down here on time. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Is double teamed in the post. Jordan Britton trying to rip it out of the hands of Abigail Hoagland here of the Royals. Turnover here by the Royals. As I mentioned, Talia Vreugdenhil, number 21 of the Royals, quite the first half. 9 rebounds along with 5 points. And Sophia Van Rolte, number 7, with 4 points and 6 rebounds to her name. As Jordan Britton now with it for the Lions. Long pass over to Cassandra Newcomb. Newcomb drives in the lane, finds Simone Wilson on the other end. Maddie Bishop trying to get around DeYoung here. Puts up a huge hook shot. No good on the attempt, picked up here by the Royals. Lazenby over to Zoe DeYoung here for Redeemer. Wide open lane here, but is met by Jordan Britton immediately, who has been a presence here in the post in her return for the Lambton Lions. And Simone Wilson picks up the loose ball here for the Lambton Lions. Over to Maddie Bishop. Thought about it from 3. Over to Kiana Cambridge, who had a huge 3 to end the first half here for the Lions. Bishop. Pull-up jumper and is in. Maddie B for 3, the first of the season here for the veteran Maddie Bishop of the Lambton Lions. Zoe DeYoung gets around Kiana Cambridge, passes half court to Lazenby. Vreugdenhil now with it for the Royals, but Jordan Britton is a presence and tipped here by Kiana Cambridge into the hands of Simone Wilson. Bishop with another 3, and no good on that attempt. Vreugdenhil with the rebound here for the Royals. Nearly tipped and stolen by Bishop. Hoagland now with it, back to Lazenby. Lazenby trying to get around Cassandra Newcomb and does so, banks it in. Nice finish by number 15, Sydney Lazenby for the Royals. Simone Wilson looking for an answer. Wide open lane, drives in and banks it in. Simone Wilson making it look easy on that possession here for the Lions. And Kiana Cambridge keeping the pressure. Simone Wilson and the Lions with the steal. Kiana Cambridge keeps it. Passes it over to Jordan Britton. Tried to bank it in. No good on the attempt. Tipped by Maddie Bishop. Picked up here by Simone Wilson. Second chance opportunity here for the Lions. Cambridge kicks back out to Newcomb for 3. Can't put it in. And rebounded by Vreugdenhil. What a flurry here by the Lions to start us off in the second quarter against the Royals. 3 minutes into this third quarter. Tipped here by Britton, saved by Simone Wilson, and picked up by Cassandra Newcomb for the Lions. Newcomb, nice pass to Kiana Cambridge, who banks it in. What a finish. Cambridge with the finish off the assist by Newcomb. And Zoe DeYoung. And they're going to call a foul, I believe, here on number 15. Cassandra Newcomb. That'll be her third foul of the game. And a few substitutions coming in here. Number 4, Lillian Bernard. Number 8, Melina Lopez. And number 20, Alexis Hines here for the Lions. A slew of first years here on the team, but had quite the impressive performance in the first half as DeYoung is double teamed here by Cambridge and Bishop and stolen away by Alexis Hines of the Lions. Hines to Lopez. Lopez trying to get around Lazenby here. Bishop with a shot and picks up her own rebound, but it gets tripped up on the ball. Zoe DeYoung picks it up here for the Royals. DeYoung finds number 7 in the post. And they're going to call the N1 foul, I believe. They did not wave it off. And a timeout called here, first of the second half. As the Royals trying to regroup here. Timeout called by the Lions. It was hard to see who called that timeout when it was called, as there was a little bit of confusion on the floor. Lions have come out rolling here in the third quarter, up now 43-21 against Redeemer. Royals having a hard time trying to get out of the blocks here against the Lions. The pressure on defense is just so great. As I mentioned earlier, I did speak with Janine Day a few weeks ago, and I even asked her, from a players and coaches perspective, would you rather start at home or on the road? And she had mentioned players will probably say at home, but maybe in the back of their mind, even though they like being here, there is some added pressure, especially for the new players, some nerves, however you take it, because they haven't been in this situation before. But as we can see from all these newcomers, as the Royals put in the and one off that last possession, doesn't seem to be any nerves here in the Lions as all these newcomers on the floor for the Lions. And another foul called on Kiana Cambridge. That's Kiana Cambridge's fourth foul of the game. One more and she'll be taking a seat. And Simone Wilson checking back in here as Kiana Cambridge will take a seat with the fourth foul to her name. She is in foul trouble now. Royals looking to regroup here. Number 7 banks it in, and it's good for Sophia Van Rolte here of the Royals. Simone Wilson finds an open lane, but is blocked by Van Rolte from one end of the floor to the other, and a loose ball here picked up by the Royals. Zoe DeYoung with it now for Redeemer. Van Houwelingen over to Van Rolte and banks it in, does Talia Vroegdenhill for the Royals. Halfway through this third quarter, Maddie Bishop over to Melina Lopez. Alexis Hines drives in, tried to bank it in, but off the lower end of the glass, right into the hands of the Royals. Sydney Lazenby bringing it down the floor now for Redeemer. Finds Vroegdenhill back over to Lazenby. However, the pressure on defense here quite a bit, and loose ball here, tried to pass it over into the hands of Lillian Bernard here of the Lions. Alexis Hines now with it. Kicks back out to Simone Wilson for 3, tried to bank it in, no good. Maddie Bishop with the rebound. Bishop brings it up the key here, back over to Melina Lopez, and no good on that 3-point attempt. And they're going to say a foul here on number 4, Lillian Bernard. Checking up on Zoe DeYoung. Great show of sportsmanship there by Lillian Bernard. Substitution coming in here for the Royals. Number 4, Daniela Zongdang coming in, and Jordan Britton, number 24, in now as well. Sydney Lazenby over to Van Houwelingen, back to Vreugdenhil. Double team though in the post. Zongdag over to number 15, Lazenby, and no good on the attempt. Sydney Lazenby set to inbound here. Only 4 seconds left on the shot clock here for the Royals. Not a whole lot of time to work with, and out of the hands, just out of reach here. Simone Wilson picks up the loose ball off the botched inbound here by the Royals and banks it in. Another 2 points here for the Lions. They're up by 19, and stolen away now by Maddie Bishop. Bishop to Simone Wilson. Is a 2-on-1 here for the Lions, and Wilson banks it in. Up now by 21 against the Royals. And another steal here by Simone Wilson. And this time they're going to call a foul on number 10, Ava Van Houwelingen. Simone Wilson set to shoot 2 here for the Lions. As we get a timeout called here before the free throws. Timeout called by the Royals, their first here in the second half. Royals trying to regroup here against the Lions. What a showing so far here for the Lions here in this home opener, as Ava Grant standing, waiting to get checked into the game here for the Lions. After these free throws here for Simone Wilson off of the foul by the Royals before the timeout called. Simone Wilson makes her first of 2 attempts at the line. Went 58.3% from the free throw line last season, and is 2 for 2 on her first trip here tonight, as Ava Grant comes into the game here for the Lions, as well as number 21, Lauren Smith. As the Royals set to inbound here, number 10, then Houwelingen over to Lazenby. Van Raalte over to Zongdang here. And stolen away here by the Lions. Ava Grant picks up the loose ball. Ava Grant kicks out to Maddie Bishop and just loses control of it, goes out of bounds. Zongdang inbounding here for the Royals. 3 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. Van Houwelingen over to Vreugdenhil. Long pass over to Lazenby here. Shot clock winding down once again, as this pressure here stolen away here by the Lions. Tipped by Melina Lopez into the hands of Ava Grant. And nice block here by number 7, Sophia Van Raalte. They're going to call a foul. Ava Grant trying to feed it to Melina Lopez. Beaten by the defender here. Lions going to inbound here, retain possession. Bishop inbounding here for the Lions over to Jordan Britton. Melina Lopez finds Maddie Bishop. Bishop floats one up. No good on the attempt. Lauren Smith trying to rebound it, and they're going to say last touch here by the Lions. Lillian Bernard checking back in now for the Lions. Then Howell Lingman back to Lazenby here for the Royals. Lazenby gets it across half court to Van Rolte. This defensive presence, I've mentioned it numerous times already tonight. A nice behind the back bank off the glass for the Royals. Jordan Britton now with it for the Lions. Bishop floats one up, banks it in with the soft touch for Maddie Bishop. That'll be 9 points to her name here this evening against the Royals. So far, here in the third quarter, minute 40 left to go in the third. Van Rolte trying to get around Jordan Britton. Britton grabs the rebound. And they're going to call a foul on the Royals here. And substitution, Simone Wilson checking back in here for Maddie Bishop. Simone Wilson going to inbound here for the Lions. Lions still up by a considerable amount here against the Royals. Lillian Bernard over to Simone Wilson. Wilson step back over to Britton. Wide open. Can't put it in. Brugden Hill with the rebound for the Royals. Then Howell Lingman over to Lazenby. And stolen away now by Simone Wilson for the Lions. Wilson, long pass to Lillian Bernard out of bounds. Lions are going to keep possession here. Simone Wilson set to inbound. Less than a minute to go here on the game clock. Lauren Smith over to Lillian Bernard. Ava Grant to Simone Wilson with a deep two, who puts it in. Nice finish by Simone Wilson of the Lions. Ava Van Howell Lingman with it now is double teamed. Ava Grant and Simone Wilson gets it over to Lazenby. Long pass to Van Rolte over to Zongdang, and no good on the attempt. Van Rolte, and they're going to call a foul here on number 24, Jordan Britton. That'll be her second foul of the game as Talia Brugden Hill gets set to shoot two from the free throw line. And misses her first attempt. She went 1 for 4 from the line here in the first half this evening. And is good on the second attempt. Simone Wilson back to Lillian Bernard. Bernard to Jordan Britton, but is double teamed, and they're going to call a foul. Jordan Britton at the line to shoot two here for the Lions. As Jordan Britton makes her first attempt at the free throw line. And 1 for 2. Lions looking to rebound, picked up here by the Royals. Van Rolte. Shot clock has been turned off. Game clock winding down here to end this third quarter. Van Rolte over to Lazenby. Time winding down. Lazenby with a three. No good on the attempt. Ava Grant now with it, bringing it down the floor, and that'll be it for the third quarter. Lions up 54-29 heading into the fourth and final quarter here this evening on home opener and season opener night. kicking off their OCAA regular season here at home in the Lions Den. If you are watching, welcome back to another season of OCAA action. Don't forget, shortly after the conclusion of this one at around 8 p.m., we'll have the men's basketball team hit the floor between the Lions and the Royals. What a game for Simone Wilson, number 10 of the Lions, with 16 points to her name as we head into the fourth quarter. Also, Kiana Cambridge, who's been quite the presence here tonight for the Lambton Lions, in foul trouble with 4 fouls to her name, has been on the bench for the majority of this third quarter. However, will come onto the floor here to start the fourth. But so far the Lions really showing the depth here on their bench. Even with all of these newcomers here to the Lions, that has been all a business here for the Lambton Lions tonight on this home opener. As we get set here to start this fourth and final quarter here this evening. Daniela Zongdang set to inbound here for the Royals to start things off to Zoe DeYoung. Zongdang no good on the shot attempt, trying to grab her own rebound. Nearly tipped here. DeYoung for 3. No good on that attempt, picked up here, rebounded by Maddie Bishop of the Lions. Over to Alexis Hines. Bryn Goebel on the floor now for the Lions, number 17, as well as Kiana Cambridge. A deep 2 here by Bishop, no good on the attempt, rebounded here by Vrugdenhill for the Royals. DeYoung gets it over half court. DeYoung trying to get around Kiana Cambridge, who is being as careful as she can here, trying not to get that 5th and final foul. If she gets one more foul to her name, she will take a seat on the bench for the remainder of this game. Vrugdenhill with a long 3-pointer. And since it touched the shot clock, it is considered out of bounds at the top of the board. So it'll be Lions ball now. Simone Wilson back to Kiana Cambridge. And they're gonna call a foul and one opportunity here. Third foul called on Talia Vrugdenhill as Kiana Cambridge gets set for the and one opportunity. Kiana Cambridge no good on the and one attempt here, picked up by the Royals. Zoe DeYoung trying to get around Cambridge. Nice screen set up here by Van Rolte, and they're going to call a foul now on the Lions. Maddie Bishop with her 3rd foul of the game. Zoe DeYoung set to shoot 2 here. And makes her first attempt. DeYoung going 2 for 2 from the free throw line on this trip. Maddie Bishop set to inbound here to Cambridge. Cassandra Newcomb finds Maddie Bishop into the hands now of Alexis Hines. Back to Newcomb, or excuse me, back to Cambridge. And they're gonna call a travel here on the Lions. Zoe DeYoung inbounding to Zongdag for the Royals. Brugden Hill, no good on the attempt. Alexis Hines trying to grab the loose ball, picked up here by the Royals. Just saves it from going out of bounds. Into the hands of Cassandra Newcomb, though. Kiana Cambridge puts up a shot, no good on the attempt. Bryn Goebel with the rebound. Goebel finds Newcomb, kicks back out to Hines for three. No good on the attempt. Brugden Hill with the rebound here for the Royals. Hoagland back to DeYoung. Finds Van Rolte. Van Rolte trying to get around Newcomb. And they're going to call a foul on Cassandra Newcomb. That'll be her second foul of the game here. Royals going to inbound DeYoung. Trying to find the open person here. Nearly a violation, took her time. Loose ball picked up by Kiana Cambridge. And the Lions and Cambridge take advantage of that one. No one on the other end of that inbound pass. Brugden Hill kicks back out to Zongdag, and no good on the attempt. Rebounded, not once but twice. Nice finish by Abigail Hoagland, gets the and one opportunity here for the Royals. And a slew of substitutions coming in here now for the Lions. Simone Wilson, number 10. Number 13, Ginny Wadabu, and number 21, Lauren Smith. As Abigail Hoagland attempts the and one. Wadabu with the rebound here for the Lions, into the hands of Simone Wilson. Newcomb drives in, puts up a shot, no good. Wadabu with the rebound, tried to bank it in. No good on that attempt. Brugden Hill with the rebound for the Royals. And now DeYoung with it. DeYoung kicks back out to Zongdag and is met immediately by Maddie Bishop. And it is a turnover here by the Royals. Over and back called on Redeemer. Bishop inbounding here to Simone Wilson. Nearly halfway through this fourth quarter. Bishop over to Wadabu. Shot clock winding down here, 4 seconds left. Bishop senses the urgency, floats one up, drives in and draws a foul. That is the experience at play here by Maddie Bishop, as she draws the foul and gets a chance for two at the free throw line. Went 71.4% from the line last season and is good on her first attempt at the line here this evening. And Bishop will go 2 for 2 from the line, and a substitution coming in now for the Lions. Number 4, Lillian Bernard, checking back in now for Lambton. Abigail Hoagland to Zoe DeYoung. DeYoung over, nearly stolen by Bishop, and they're going to call a foul on Maddie Bishop. That's her fourth foul. Bishop now in some foul trouble. Bishop frustrated with the call. Janine Day trying to say ignore it from the bench. Two players now in foul trouble here for the Lambton Lions, as DeYoung finds number 12 on the inside, can't bank it in for Hoagland. And Lauren Bernard now bringing it down the floor for the Lions. Maddie Bishop and Kiana Cambridge in foul trouble here for the Lions. Nice save by Bernard. They're going to call out of bounds here on the Lions. Turnover here. Royals looking to take advantage here. And they're going to call a foul on number 13, Ginny Wadaboo, saying she pushed her out of bounds. Daniela Zongdang at the line to shoot two now for the Royals. And makes her first attempt. And 2 for 2 from the line is Daniela Zongdang here for the Royals. Royals having some issues throughout this game here against the slurry of offense here by the Lions, and as well as their pressure on defense. It has been a full court presence here by the Lions against the Royals. Wilson to Wadaboo. Wadaboo floats one up, no good on the attempt. Bernard with the rebound, back to Wadaboo. And they're going to call a travel on Ginny Wadaboo here for the Lions. Zoe DeYoung back over to Hoagland. Zongdang for three, no good on the attempt. Pass touched by the Royals. And Talia Vrugdenhill looking like she got hit there, holding on to her face. And a timeout called here nearly halfway through this fourth quarter. The Royals using their second of 3 timeouts here in the second half, as the rest of the bench is checking on Talia Vrugdenhill on the sideline after pausing on that last possession, seeing if she was all right. Seems to be okay, takes a seat on the bench. Lions up 60-35 here against the Royals. Royals just haven't been able to get out of the blocks here since the first quarter and mount up a sustained level of offense here against the Lions. And the Lions already back on the floor, ready to go. Maddie Bishop back on the floor here for the Lions. Even with 4 fouls to her name, she is back on the floor, as well as Lillian Bernard, number 4. Simone Wilson is set to inbound. Ginny Wadaboo and number 21, Lauren Smith, in the game now for the Lions as they quickly inbound this one. Royals seem to be barely ready off that whistle. Ginny Wadaboo back over to Lauren Smith. Back to Bishop. Smith with it. Shot clock winding down. Lillian Bernard finds Wadaboo, puts up a shot, tried to bank it in, rebounds her own shot over to Lauren Smith. Smith floats one up, no good on the attempt. Is rebounded, or at least attempted to be rebounded, as Ginny Wadaboo jumps on the ball as well. They're going to call a jump ball awarded to the Lions. Melina Lopez and Jordan Britton checking back in for the Lions here. Number 8, Lopez. Number 24, Jordan Britton. And what a game she has had here this evening in her return to action for the Lambton Lions. Britton with the ball off the inbound, back into the hands of Bishop. 8 seconds on the shot clock, a deep 2, no good on the attempt. Lopez trying to steal it, and they're going to call a jump ball, this time going the Royals' way. And number 15, Sydney Lazenby, slow to get up off that last possession. Ava Grant checking in for the Lions, number 12. Less than halfway to go here in the fourth and final quarter. Zoe DeYoung back over to Van Howell-Lignan. Lazenby with it. and is blocked by Jordan Britton. And what a game. I was just saying on the other end that she's been having quite the game. And on the other end on defense now with a huge block. Lopez finds Britton, floats it over to Lauren Smith. Picked up by Ava Grant. Lopez brings it in and no good on the attempt. Rugden Hill with the rebound here for the Royals. 3:40 left to play here in the fourth. DeYoung puts up a shot, no good on the attempt. And they're gonna call a foul here on number 21, Lauren Smith, on the Lions. That'll be her second foul. Number 20, Alexis Hines, checking back in. Hines with the ball now, off the inbound by Lopez. Lopez back with it. Trying to get around Lazenby. Bishop for three, puts it in. Another one for Maddie B from three. And Bishop now with 14 points to her name this evening against the Royals. DeYoung for three, no good on the attempt. Rebounded here by Rugden Hill. Shot clock winding down. They're going to say last touched here by the Lions as number 17, Bryn Goebel, checking back in for the Lions. As well as number 4, Daniela Zongdang for the Redeemer Royals. And just out of reach off the inbound. Loose ball picked up by the Lions, but a just out of reach pass here for Bryn Goebel. The Royals take it back. Tipped by Melina Lopez. And nearly tipped again by the Royals. This time Maddie Bishop slows the play down, brings it across half court to Melina Lopez. Lopez trying to find Alexis Hines on the inside, just out of reach, out of bounds. 2:36 left to play here in the fourth. Lions with a sizable lead against the Royals. I think it's safe to say, even with this amount of time, that the Lions are going to go up 1-0 for the season as they go on the road here for the next little bit in the month of October. And banks it in. They're going to call a foul. An and one opportunity here for the Royals. Foul called on number 17, Bryn Goebel, as Daniela Zongdag set for the and one opportunity, as Kiana Cambridge, number 15, checking back in, as well as Lillian Bernard for the Lions. Cambridge, of course, in foul trouble. 4 fouls to her name, as Zongdag can't convert on the and one. They're going to call off the shot. I was going to say they rebounds her own shot. They're going to call a foul on number 20, Alexis Hines. Daniela back at the free throw line to shoot 2. Off the missed and one. Makes her first attempt on this visit. And 1 for 2 on that one, tipped. They're going to say Lions ball. Last touch by number 7, Sophia Van Rolte here of the Royals. Lillian Bernard set to inbound. Finds Kiana Cambridge. Cambridge quickly going from one end of the floor to the other. Bryn Goebel trying to set the screen. Goebel off the pass. And they're going to call a foul here on the Royals, number 4, Daniela Zondag. Alexis Hines set to inbound here for the Lions. As I see the men's team down below getting ready for their game shortly after the conclusion of this one. Men's basketball OCAA season also kicks off tonight. Lions home opener against the Royals later on. Ava Grant trying to save it from going out of bounds, picked up by Daniela Zondag. She's been all over the floor here for the Royals on both ends. Hines with the rebound, though, for the Lions. to Kiana Cambridge. Cambridge drives in, 2 defenders on her. A little too much off the glass. Van Howell-Lingnan to DeYoung, back out to Zondag for 3, no good on the attempt. Bernard with the rebound, passes it to Alexis Hines. Hines trying to get around DeYoung. DeYoung all over Alexis Hines here. Cambridge over to Bernard. Ava Grant to Bryn Goebel. Goebel back to Cambridge. Shot clock winding down. Cambridge with the shot. Bernard tried to grab the rebound. Loose ball picked up by Bryn Goebel here. And a shot clock violation here on the Lions. Less than a minute to go here in this one. Lions up 63-38. They will go 1-0 to start their season here at home against the Royals. As this one winds down, tipped by Ava Grant into the hands of Kiana Cambridge. Cambridge tried to passes it over to Grant. Grant banks it in with her first points of the game in her first game as a Lambton Lion. It has been a full team effort tonight by the Lions. Brugden Hill with it for the Royals. Over to Zodag. Floats it up and in. Lions still up by 25 here. Kiana Cambridge will slow down the play here as the Lions will walk away with a 25-point victory here against the Redeemer Royals. What a start for the Lions here in their home opener to kick off the OCAA season. And with that, Lions pick up their first win. The men's basketball team looking to do the same here tonight against the Royals. As we will be back shortly with some men's OCAA basketball action. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.